There's a new street fighter on your windowsill. The weapon is peace. The word is chill.
Hi there guys, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour. And today we are going to go through the Hasbro Pulse reveals. But I'm also joined by my co-host, Little Piglet. So we're going to see Little Piglet's opinion on the Hasbro Pulse reveals as well. As you can imagine, she has some hot takes. There you go, Piggy. So, first of all, the main reveals were, of course, the Age of Apocalypse line. And it's so funny that in the comments, people were saying, no more Age of Apocalypse. We don't want Age of Apocalypse. And then I'm there watching going, oh, give me more Age of Apocalypse. So it's kind of a divisive line. And I have a horrible feeling that we won't be seeing a third wave because a lot of folks aren't that interested, but I'm really hyped for it. And when you look at the figures, there's a lot to get hyped about. First of all, a lot of these are just renders, but we got Magneto, and Magneto looks good. He looks like what we would expect. He's got two heads, which is great. We've got the unmasked head and we've got the head with the helmet on. And unfortunately, I know it's just a render, but I feel like the masked head still has derpy Magneto helmet face. They still can't get it right. I was really hoping they were going to go with the, is it Mayfex? Have done an Age of Apocalypse Magneto where it's all just black inside the helmet with the white eyes. That looked really cool. I was hoping they would go with that, but instead it looks kind of derpy. Really, the only sort of big distinguishing feature for the Age of Apocalypse Magneto is the braids, the long hair and the braids, and they got that at least. But also, the faces in the renders, they look really plain. They look like the bored expression, and it's so weird now that Hasbro seems to be so sort of back and forth with really expressive, like, rah faces, or completely just not even neutral, just nothing, just... And it's like, that's not exciting, because especially with the Age of Apocalypse wave, we've got some really intense, cool-looking characters like Sugar Man and Dark Beast with his grin and smile. And we've got Magneto like, it's the Age of Apocalypse. So I like what they've done with the figure. I love that we get two heads, but neither one of them are very exciting. So I'm kind of a 5 out of 10 on that figure. But of course, with Age of Apocalypse, if you've got Magneto, you got to have Rogue. And again, this is just a render that we're seeing. But this looks kind of fun also. It's her complete, obviously, Age of Apocalypse design. And the design is kind of wacky and odd, but so wonderfully 90s neon dystopia. It's a really fun kind of design. Like if she was appearing in a Joel Schumacher Batman movie, this is probably what she would look like. And that's kind of fun. And I feel like it's got a little bit of that Joe Madureira kind of, if that's how you pronounce his name, I think so. But it's got some of his kind of look and flair to the design. So I'm kind of down with Rogue. But again, not too sure about the face. I still feel like the face could be more expressive, but she's going to look really great paired up with Mags. So the two of those together, yeah, very, very cool. Keeping with the X team, we've got Iceman. And Iceman, I'm a little bit disappointed because, again, it's only a render, so you can't tell. But he looks so much like the Juggernaut wave Iceman. It doesn't look really any different. And the thing with the Age of Apocalypse Iceman, what was cool about him was that he had mastered his ice powers to the point where he was kind of like the T-1000. He could just merge and morph and do all kinds of crazy things. And the craziest thing that they give him for this figure, by the looks of things, is just slightly spikier hands. You got normal hands and slightly spikier. And it's like, really? This dude could turn himself into like a full ice slide type thing. Like, really cool. And that's all you're giving us. And of course, the AOA design has no mouth. It's just like this sinister looking visage, which is really cool, but you can't really tell with the render. So we'll have to wait and see. Wait until we get it in hand. Maybe it'll be nice sort of surprise. Then, of course, we have Shadowcat. And Shadowcat, being a female figure, there's not too much sort of going on with it, except it looks decent. They mentioned some of the Lady Deathstrike mold, which actually makes a lot of sense. It's the kind of armored, striped kind of look, and it looks like it actually works really well. I was least excited about getting Shadowcat when I heard that she was announced, but seeing her, and this is one we actually saw a physical copy of. I think we did. Pretty sure I didn't imagine it. Someone was holding it in their hand, and I was like, okay, that actually looks good. The face sculpt looks good. The hair looks good. The claws. I'm down with Shadowcat. That's kind of cool. And of course, we also get, and this is one that we also saw the physical sort of prototype for, was Cyclops. And Cyclops, I'm very pumped for. I was looking forward to. The AOA design, I think, is awesome with the long, luscious, flowing hair. And he's got the visor that looks like sunglasses, but of course, under his hair. And it's very unusual to have a Marvel Legends character where the hair is down over the front of the face. He's got the missing eye. It's just blank there, and then his one ruby quartz eye. So that's really cool. I thought kind of a shame with the character was that he has no boots or anything. It's just plain blue up his legs down to his feet. In fairness, that is how the character was designed in the comics. So I'm not faulting that at all. You know, it's very easy to fault Marvel Legends for like a basic design, but at the same time, like, if that's what it was in the comics, I want it to be accurate. So that's what we're getting. But again, kind of a plain looking expression. It's the curse of the plain expressions, which then makes it so much more egregious when you look at a character like, who might be the star of the wave, Sabertooth. And Sabertooth looks awesome. The biggest story from this is, of course, he's on the Colossus body. That's what they said, or it's based off the Colossus body. Either way, this is big news because A, we're getting a full-scale Sabertooth like he should be, and B, it's giving us a bit more hope that Hasbro aren't just going, oh, we're just going to do small figures for the waves, and if you want a big figure, you got to buy a deluxe figure. It's like, no. Colossus is a bigger figure, and it's great to see that buck being used again. So I'm really happy we're getting Sabertooth on that. So he'll go great with Wild Child. This wave is all about pairings, actually. You got Rogue and Magneto, you got Sabertooth and Wild Child, and of course we're getting Kitty, and she will pair up with the Builder figure from this wave, a huge big Colossus, which again looks great. Speaking of Colossus, this is the AOA Colossus, and he looks huge. They refer to him as Pirate Colossus with his bandana. I thought this would be kind of a boring BAF to have, but when I see the mock-up, you can see he's got like a big shoulder pad that's got more detailing going on there. It looks like he's going to be a really fun figure. So adding him to the overall shelf, I think that's going to be really cool. And finally in that wave, we have Legion. And funnily enough, like, I never actually read Legion Quest, and I haven't really read anything with Legion, but in fairness, he is kind of integral to the AOA line. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, it's his meddling that causes the Age of Apocalypse, but he doesn't actually appear in the Age of Apocalypse. So I'm like, well, where am I going to put him? Because he doesn't fit with the AOA timeline. It's because of his meddling that it gets created, and he's not actually in it. So that's kind of interesting. If I could sell on one figure or get rid of one figure from that line, it would be Legion, because I just don't really feel like I need him. But still, he looks like a decent figure. So this wave overall, like I might have said, people in the comment section while they were doing the live stream were actually saying, we don't want AOA, stop doing AOA. And so much so that the guys presenting the show commented on it. They were like, yeah, sorry guys, more AOA. So my worry is that this is the last we're going to see of the Age of Apocalypse, because I think the first wave, just from what I've heard, you know, through the scuttlebutt and the grapevine, the first wave didn't sell very well, but they were so far into production on the second wave, they were like, well, we got to put this second wave out. So now that they kind of know that a lot of people don't like these figures, I can't see them commissioning a third wave, which is a tragedy for me, because I would love to see the, more characters from the Age of Apocalypse revisited, especially because they, we still need guys like Gambit or Nightcrawler. Give us another Nemesis BAF, but I don't know if that'll happen. But that was the Age of Apocalypse. And then we had a single character reveal, which I am so hype about. This might be, this definitely is the biggest hype for this Pulse live stream for me, which is SpiderMan retro carded SpiderMan 2099. Oh yes, we only got one shot. I don't know if it was a photo or no, I think it was an actual photo. Yeah, it wasn't a rendering. It was a photo of the figure in packaging, and it looks great, especially compared to the original one from 2015. This one is on the retro Spidey body, so he's bigger, stockier, there's just more to him. The metallic sort of blue and red looks dark and menacing. You can see he's got 3 different pairs of hands. He's got the 2 he comes with and then 2 more to choose from, so loads of posing options. He's got the webs on the back, so much cool stuff going on there. So I'm really, really hyped to get Spider-Man 2099. I'm sure you're going to see a lot of the 2015 ones going for sale on eBay and the groups now, as people are desperate to upgrade this guy, because I think he looks awesome. So happy for Spider-Man 2099. Then following that, they went over some 3.75-inch scale figures, but I kind of tuned out with that. I'm not going to cover those because, not knocking them, I'm just not too interested. So my mind kind of wandered. I think I saw a bird out the window or something. And then just to finish off, they did the old Columbo. They were like, that's great. Just one more thing. And that is a reveal of the computer mock-up of Tigra. Tigra was the completely original character with a tail that they have been hinting at for about a year now. So they showed us the picture of Tigra, and the picture at least looks great. It's a mock-up of what the figure will be like. She's got the sharp claws, she's got the feline features, she has pinless joints, double-jointed elbows, which is something that a lot of people for a long time have been wanting for their female figures. So she looks great. And, you know, I was about to sell off my Mockingbird, but now I'm thinking, nah, the West Coast Avengers are really coming together, so we're going to have to get Tigra and continue building those. Annoyingly, I don't have Wonder Man, and he's only going to get more expensive, so that's kind of a shame. But it is what it is. And then before they completely closed out, they just showed another little hint at the sword that they had been kind of previewing before, which is totally 100% Excalibur. Now, they showed a big block of blonde hair, which I think people have said is Megan, but I'm not familiar with Excalibur characters. So there's someone with lots of blonde hair is coming, along with the sword, which has Lockheed, the little dragon, on it too. So for Excalibur fans out there, that's going to be a big one. And that was my recap of Hasbro Pulse for whatever month this is. May. I'm not sure when the next one is, but there we go. And it was a fun Hasbro Pulse. There was some good stuff there. I'm really pumped for the Age of Apocalypse wave. I already got a text from a friend of mine saying, well, that wave's going to save me money. I'm like, I get it. If you weren't, the Age of Apocalypse is like Nam. If you weren't there, man, you don't know what it was like. But I was there at the time. Actually, I was kind of a Johnny-come-lately. I started reading comics because of Age of Apocalypse having happened, and I was like, what the hell was that thing I'm hearing about? So yeah, if you were there, you're gonna love the figures. If it was something that happened a long time ago and you're not that bothered, you're not gonna be that bothered. But still, Spider-Man 2099 is a really exciting one, and it bodes well for an upcoming like full retro wave. I don't know. I know that they said we're gonna get a Spider-Man wave, but I have a horrible feeling that's just the Spider-Man MCU wave. That's only a horrible feeling to me. I'm sure a lot of people are totally pumped for that. But yeah, I want more comic book Spider-Man, and that is a great way to go. So yeah, that was a fun pulse. Guys, if you watched it, let me know what you think. Do you want to see more Age of Apocalypse? What other figures are going to get previewed that you're looking forward to? Comment below, let me know. And until next time, keep displaying model behavior. Pulse reveals, at least the ones that I can remember off the top of my noggin. What's the matter? What are you coughing on? It's Piglet. I got Piglet back, but she's going. Like, what are you coughing on? Hey.